Crystal Palace, great team, horrible fans.
Right, so you think they're going to do pretty well then?
Yeah, I think so. I think, annoyingly, the fans do have a point. They are a good
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens, especially with fans as abrasive and cold and hard to work with as Crystal Palace fans.
Hard to work with.
Are you okay? You're getting a little bit rough there, the pod.
I'll just see myself out. It's fine.
Football.
May have missed
It's
that.
the football episode, everybody. Welcome. Finally happened. We've been itching to do something about football because we're all such big football fans. We're doing football today, everyone. How are we feeling about football?
Oh, it's been great.
Matt, are you happy with the football or are you unhappy with the football?
I'm quite
How was
happy
the
with
football for you?
The football.
Did the football go well?
I'm learning the football. I like the football.
You're learning your football. I thought you liked football a lot.
I do like football, but a couple of episodes
Are you telling me
ago,
you're not a
I
diehard
told
fan?
you that I didn't know what football was. That may or may not have
That's
been
a
a
lie.
lie.
Don't even try to commit to the fiction. Don't even try. Don't even try. I called it Crumpington a couple of episodes ago. No one gives a shit. It's fine. Just plow on.
I can tell
Stop
you.
doing bum. It's not allowed. Bum's not allowed.
Continuity.
This is a safe for work podcast. All right. So none of you are fucking around.
Football.
We're doing football.
It's been really great, the league in my area. A lot less Yeti attacks than last year, though.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
Still took down one team in the Premier League, which is...
They took him down. How many
Yeah.
fatalities?
all 11.
Well, at least
Got
11.
one
Oh God.
One
Wait, so they're just
side.
at the subs now.
Yeah, they're just at subs.
Oh,
Gonna be
damn.
really
How many subs? They have enough for a full team, or what? Are they fielding the manager?
Well, what actually happened is that there was a bit of bickering about which subs, because they had 22 subs, and they were bickering about which subs,
That's a lot of subs.
could do it. So Manchester split into two teams, and so we've now got Manchester City and Manchester United.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a Yeti attack. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why...
So there was a bit of a team civil war, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Nah, we're
Yeah.
united.
We're
and we're a
united.
city.
We're a city, yeah. And you know...
You're not. Get out of my city. We're called Man City. You can't be in the city. You have to go out to the little corner. It's
crazy.
called
And
United.
to think that all happened this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So we're doing predictions. You know, because why didn't we put our suits on now? We looked like sports commentators.
I've got my football
I'd have
shirt
to
on.
dig it
I
up.
could put a
Whose
football shirt
idea
on, but
wasn't this?
It's so hot here.
Christ.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I could do this in
Mind
a
you,
city.
it's cooled down for me. I'm pretty good. I'm chilling.
It's going to be
here.
20
Right.
degrees to
Arctic
25
Alps.
degrees tonight or something.
We're trying to do predictions.
also
because
to-
we know what we're talking about.
Also, a little
Exactly.
bit more confusion to clear up. Liverpool
what's that?
has, because of global warming, has now become Liverpool. So
Hilarious. That's so funny. I love that joke. That's such a good joke. Have you got any more?
have we got any more?
Save them.
Can we do another one? Chelsea used to be Chell Land, but some
Chelsea.
bad shit cracked up. So
Shell Ocean, the continental drift turned
Yeah.
into a sea.
Yeah. And also the greatest joke of all, Aston Villa's here. So congratulations.
oh, they made it.
They made it.
Everyone, they didn't die. They
didn't
didn't
die.
die.
They didn't lose.
Congratulations to Villa fans. I'm sure they're breathing a sigh of relief as they get to repeat it all next year.
And congratulations to Crystal Palace for being the only building to have its own football team.
That's pretty good. I don't know how they get. I don't know how it
Especially
even kicks
because
or anything.
they're the London
Well, no, hang on,
teams.
Newcastle.
They beat the entire... Oh, yeah.
There's a Newcastle.
Well-
Get out of my house.
To be fair, it used to be Old Castle until they demolished it and did the renovations.
Oh well, it was hurricanes.
Yeah.
It's all the bloody hurricanes that get up
And-
north.
I don't know whether anyone's told them, but Sheffield has misspelt their name. CHEF.
How's it?
Gordon's not going to be happy when he talks to the team.
It's Sheffield.
Sheffield United.
no, actually, no. Hang on, we're Sheffield. No, it's different. Like, it's not the same.
Sheffield. You know, it's Gordon Ramsay
we're Sheffield.
brought the
We're a
team,
new team.
and it's been quite the hassle for him. But yeah, basically,
Right.
what we're doing this week is that we are, if you don't know, I'm very good at reading the future. I can read tarot cards. It's very easy, a lot of cold reading, a lot of psychological tips. And so we're going to take that knowledge and transfer it into the Premier League to tell you what on Betfair you should be
Who to
voting
bet
on.
Now, there's our guarantee, right? So at the end of this podcast, when we find the first person, you need to go on and place your bet now that they'll win the season.
Now.
And if they don't, we'll reimburse you.
Reimburse you. That is
we're
the Jacko
absolutely.
W
You can hold us to that.
guarantee.
That's a Jacko W promise.
It's personally out of his pocket.
To cover it.
Out of my pocket.
Oh, out of your pocket.
Well, out of my pocket, but then you guys are, you know,
In your pocket.
you guys are, you're chipping. Yeah, you're in my pocket. Exactly.
It depends if I get my paycheck. You know, company hasn't paid me for anything yet.
Nah. But we'll
have a
by
podcast
next
then.
year's time. We're gonna have a podcast. We're gonna decide what we're
And
doing. Definitely.
You
we'll
can
know.
you
we'll
can
know.
bet on that and Betfair.
That's
And
another.
if
That's the
not,
second Jacko W promise.
we'll pay out of pocket.
We'll reimburse you for the price of you believing in us, which is not a lot.
Not a lot.
Right.
Should we
Who
get
do
on
we
with it?
think? Right. We'll start with the relegations. Now, I don't know how many teams even get. Is it three? Three
So
teams
three
get
teams get
relegated?
relegated because 3 teams come up.
And does it matter the order within the relegations?
No, only for pride and
Not really, because they lost, did it?
Money reasons. Only money and pride.
Okay. Right.
But-
Well, who do we think is going to come dead bottom?
Well,
Oh,
if I remember my
mean-
cardinal directions, never eat shredded wheat. West is always in the last of the cardinal directions. There's two
Okay.
Western teams, so I think
Yeah.
both West Ham and West Brom are certainly going to be at the bottom.
Now, yeah, I mean,
that's true.
West Brom
They're only
have-
using a quarter of their towns each.
Yeah.
So why that's clearly a bad
exactly.
idea. What a stupid catchment.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean,
But which one's worse? West Brom.
Which
and
one's worse,
West Ham?
Bram or Hom?
And don't
Bram or
worry-
Hom?
Don't worry, guys. No matter what we say here, it is 100% true.
Yeah, this is us dictating. We're the three sisters of fate,
Yeah.
correct? Would you say?
So
Which
if
one
West
of you?
I've got
Brom
some
and
scissors
West
somewhere.
Ham got into a fight on the football pitch,
Oh, West Ham would kick our asses, right? Because they've got knives and stuff.
they've got Mark Noble.
They've got Mark Noble. He sounds
He's
noble.
an aggressive
Marky.
man. You don't want to
Marking's a thing in football.
You don't want to
Yeah.
mess with Mark Noble.
In
Nah,
in
he'll
ancient
mark
history,
you
the
nobly.
nobles were the knights. You kind of like.
That's
you know,
exactly it.
They were
Right, yeah.
bit of a fight.
And I don't know what Brom is.
Well, yeah, it's
mean, it's
after,
why
after,
we've
Ham is tasty.
It's why we've
after he
gated
left
off Buckingham
Oldcastle,
Palace.
he joined West Ham.
They're too dangerous to be let out. The Royals.
Too dangerous. We had to pen them in whilst they weren't looking. They're busy having their afternoon tea, and we were just like, quick, close the gate.
And we did lose a good couple of men to the corgis.
Fuck it, that's dreadful.
They
those
set them
those
out.
those dread corgis.
Well,
They are terrifying.
why-
In the full plate armor with the
Yeah.
cannons.
yeah, it's why they've had to
Monstrous.
put out those warnings for beware of the dogs.
Yeah,
in
I'm so glad
people's
they banned them from
gardens.
football as well, because that would have been insane.
I know, absolutely.
Do you remember when football was in primarily mounted combat,
Yeah.
and there was a ball? I know.
I think
Right, West Ham's clearly just
clearly
they don't have it.
They don't have it.
No one's even eating ham anymore. Haven't you heard?
Haven't you heard?
Veganuary has just become the whole year.
It's all
So
about that
evidently
faking.
ham's gone out.
And bacon.
Mhm.
And fake.
Well, everyone's
Yeah,
using
bacon gets.
yeah.
That's, no, it's allowed anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Right,
I thought
send
we were
ham
saying
to the
West
bin.
Ham.
Are we
was
putting
more-
West Ham at the bottom?
West
Yeah,
Ham.
but ham's shit, isn't it? No one wants ham.
No one's
Do
ham.
you want
To be
Brom?
hon-
I don't want Brom either, but
don't want
ham's
Brom.
worse because ham's.
But if he
meats
gave
and
me
stuff,
the
innit?
option between ham and Brom, I feel like I don't know what Brom is, and it must be better than ham.
That's
and
that's
it
curious.
sounds like it might be vegan, so the vegans aren't going to kill me.
Could be a vegan company. Yeah, sure. It's future proofed. Surely.
You know, you never know with.
I mean, they're still getting relegated. We've established they're definitely getting
Yeah.
relegated. I like the irony that a place that has ever in the name would actually get relegated. I think they should be. I think if they would get relegated, they'd have to change the name to
Everton.
Neverton.
Yeah.
Never to return.
Never Everton.
Neverton.
Never Everton.
Say Everton and Neverton.
Never say Everton, never say Everton.
Neverton, say Everton.
Again.
Everton. Yeah. I mean, who the hell else
Sorry,
is getting,
I just have
getting
James Bond
destroyed?
on the mind. You know, it's a James Bond movie where he has to infiltrate a football club. Rowan Atkinson was in it. Legitimately, Rowan Atkinson was in that movie. I didn't.
That's a different
expect it.
podcast. Get out the
I
bin.
didn't
Go
expect
and
it.
go and live in a dumpster. Stop it. You're doing the wrong podcast.
Well, he's a famous footballer. I thought it was somewhat relevant.
Where's Mr. Bean's team, man? They were so good back in the day.
Good old East Ham.
East Ham, oh man, so strong.
East Ham,
God.
FC.
With the Uzis and the samurai swords,
Yeah.
they were fierce.
They were from the Far East. It was amazing.
They
They
were
had the
Far
Japanese
East Ham.
team into the
Far East
English
Ham.
Football League. With the team captain, Mr. Bean Rowan Atkinson. Some say
Rowan
one of the most-
Mr. Bean Atkinson.
the biggest Japanese star to ever come to the modern, well, the
Very
Western
beautiful
world.
at such a
Very
time.
beautiful.
Anyways,
Great eyebrows.
who's also getting relegated?
I
We've got
thought we
to
just
choose.
agreed. It was another-
Never Everton.
Never Everton
Everton.
again. Everton.
Name me one
Okay.
footballer in the Everton League. You can't, because they accidentally hired basketball players for this upcoming season, and they're gonna have a horrible revelation.
Someone needs to have a chat with their HR, man. They're dreadful.
I mean,
It's
What
gonna
are
be
you doing?
terrible.
They'd make
They're gonna
good
try and
goalkeepers.
dribble, and they're gonna all get yellow cards in the first match. They're not gonna know what to do with themselves.
Okay, right. Everton's gone. Right, who's doing terribly? What we think?
So
Got-
who's going to just save themselves from going down? Now they've already done it once. Do you
Already
think
done it
Aston
once.
Villa can do it again?
I'm not gonna lie. I think Aston
I-
Villa are gonna be top 10.
Yeah,
Do you reckon Aston Villa are going to completely
I've
flip
watched-
the table?
I'm expecting a full comeback.
I've
enough.
watched enough anime to know that when the hero has been beaten down, they get an inexplicable power boost.
He's gonna get Aston Villa's gonna get like superpowers. They're gonna get sunbeams from shooting from their hands and stuff.
Does that then
It's
mean,
gonna be strong.
Does that then mean that we're saying that some of the top teams from this season are going to be down the bottom, and it's a complete?
Oh, Matthew, I think a fair few of those top teams are gonna be down. I think it's the world's gonna turn upside down in the realm of football.
So are we putting someone like Liverpool down there then?
Liverpool might go.
Like
Arsenal's
Icarus.
how it stay in the sun. Arsenal should leave, right?
think
Everyone agrees.
Liverpool-
Yeah,
I
no
think-
one likes Arsenal. Thing is you've already
No one
got
even likes
you've
Arsenal.
already got rid of three
We've got
teams.
guns.
Arsenal
I'd
get
say-
Stupid.
Arsenal get to stay. It doesn't matter. Like
I would
every other
say-
team
Yeah, they
is
get to
safe.
stay, but they're doing
We've
badly.
already decided before going through any of the other teams that those three are going down.
Yeah,
So-
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you reckon
Because the West is terrible.
I'm not
and
sure
Everton's got
Arsenal's
Ever in the
just
name.
got rescued out, because I think Liverpool, like Icarus, has flown too close to the sun, and basically they're not going to be ready for kind of like, you know, the higher you go in the atmosphere, the lower the oxygen is, and they
That's
keep
correct.
training up there. They're not going to be used to
Right.
1 Gs of gravity football. Going to be missing all
Angels
their
can't
shots.
even play football, man.
Yeah, it's very famous.
They've
It
never
says it
been
in the
good.
Bible. Leviticus.
Too many wings.
Isn't that
Flappy.
just Quidditch?
Leviticus verse 5.
No, they're good at Quidditch.
Yeah, but
Um,
isn't like football with wings just Quidditch?
No, you're thinking
Football with
broomsticks.
wings is northern football.
Yeah.
No, like I
It's
said, I'm
mountain.
learning the game. I don't know how to play this.
It's mountainous football.
Mountainous football. What they play in the Siberian East country of the UK. Play a lot of mountain football here. The rest of the UK hasn't really gotten onto it, just because, you know, the rest of the UK is just floodplains.
They don't have the terrain. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's exactly.
That's why it's so rainy.
It's all salt flats.
So yeah,
Right,
we
who's going
agreed
next then?
Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Liverpool.
And then Arsenal.
Especially
reckon
because
Arsenal?
they are.
No.
Arsenal has
I don't
quite
think we
a
can
big
sit right now. I
Arsenal
think what we should do. I think
potential.
we've binned off the obvious ones. We can all agree.
Yeah.
So I think now we should go through individually each of the teams and just kind of talk about the season they had last year, right? That seems to
Yeah.
make sense. We binned off the just clear failures,
Okay.
and now we
well,
need to
I'd
kind of
say
go a bit
let's
more
start
analytical.
in reverse alphabetical order. We'll skip over Liverpool
Okay.
because we've talked a lot about them already. But Arsenal, I have some things to say about. So Wolverhampton, I think, a very brave plan for a football team. And who knew that a team completely comprised of Wolves would be so effective at football? Turns out.
I mean, pack tactics, right?
Yeah,
They're just
makes sense.
pure ruthless.
I hear
They fight as one.
this year they've signed up one of the Queen's corgis.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought that was not allowed.
Not allowed.
Is there going to have to court? There's going to be a court case.
They made
Isn't
the
the Queen in charge of everything?
Because
Doesn't she
technically,
get to
Just-
decide?
Paint him like a wolf.
technically he's only a 5-generation pedigree and not a 6th-generation. Just because
So he's
got,
actually a mongrel.
he's got a little bit of Chihuahua blood in him, which
Ah.
actually
they're-
makes him a little
they're
bit more feisty.
ferocious. Very good at football,
Very good at football.
famously.
Yeah.
It's why the Mexican Football League is the top in the world, just because all their teams
yeah.
are
It's
completely
all bloody
comprised of Chihuahuas. as is most of Mexico, it is Chihuahua territory.
Chihuahua-based economy.
Chihuahua-based economy. All the people are Chihuahuas, as are their money.
I have a feeling this podcast is going to be one of the more bizarre. But here we go.
How
Let's just
many
carry on.
chihuahuas for your chihuahua? Chihuahuas, please.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, as everyone knows, Chihuahuas, like Pokemon, only say their own name,
Yeah.
and it's their species.
Well, that's what we just said about
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
I do. And by the way, we are thinking of everyone in Beverly Hills during their difficult times, whilst the Chihuahua hordes do overtake them.
I shouldn't laugh. It's. I mean, eat the rich and all, but
Well,
don't literally eat the rich.
I mean, that's why.
You know.
What do you think they were doing in those handbags all that time? Just plotting their revenge.
Biding their time.
Yeah.
If you want a
biding
good
their time.
documentary, tune into Beverly Hills Chihuahua for more on that.
Okay, so Wolverhampton looking pretty strong. They're upgrading their team.
However,
They've gone from Wolves to Wolves plus Corgis, which is
someone who I think has
dreaded
made
combination.
quite a big try to emulate Wolverhampton's skills, but has kind of picked the wrong thing. Is that a load of toddlers don't do too well on a football pitch. So,
And they've got the workers' rights, like the child labour stuff, to
And
get around.
again-
They can only have them practicing like 4 hours a day. It's not. It's very difficult.
it's still vegan.
I don't know what they're gaining from it.
It's still vegan.
It's still vegan.
So,
And ham, yeah.
Ham.
Well, as you know, they exclusively feed the toddlers ham,
however,
and it gets them big and strong.
yeah.
Except for
So
their
I
legs.
think
Well, no, the legs stay stubby, but they're big and they're squat, kind of. They're
the
like
question
dwarfs.
is Tottenham going to be in 10th place again? Who knows? It's been their goal every time.
You'd
they've
expect
been
it.
to their route.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why they're so
Just-
set on 10. I
I
don't.
think
it's-
there might be an upset this year, just because
What you think it's gonna be? It's gonna be 9.
I think it might be 11.
Might be 11.
11.
What's your thinking?
Well, their new manager, instead of getting a toddler, they've got a boss baby this time.
Oh no,
he's-
that's not a
he's
good
quite
mix.
new to the scene. Maybe
Oh,
I think he
no.
could grow into it quite a bit, but I think he's a bit. Of
Yeah,
a
but
risky
not in
kid.
one season, right? Yeah, they're playing the long game. Next season, they might do all right.
Next season,
But
they might
this
get up to
season-
9th.
They might make it to 9th. God damn. So it's going to be 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 9.
as we all know, like the jump from 11 to 9 is probably the biggest
Different.
jump in the entire
Yeah,
league.
the massive disparity.
And the only
yeah,
people who are in the
absolutely.
middle tend to be top 10 ham.
Tot 10 ham.
Now,
Okay, so right, Southampton. Now
Well,
this is an
ham.
interesting one.
It's another
that's
ham.
yeah,
More ham.
but it is a cardinal direction that I can get behind.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds
that's
good.
why it goes above the two wests.
Well, they play upside down, which is kind of baffling to me, and they're always the seasonal kind of differences is a bit funny. But
And it always
if they can, I mean, they seem to be pretty good at throwing people off their guard by just kicking
Yeah.
everyone in their noses
They're
and stuff,
all-
and
they're also-
standing around the pitch
Mm,
aggressively.
Yeah. They're quite near the southwestern teams as well, so they kind of can see what not to do from the western teams. It's why their
Oh, they got a good
is-
vantage point.
It's why their chant, has always been South by Southwest. It's just a real good, feel good phrase. I think it's much better than the howling of the Wolverhamptons and the screaming, bubbling child.
Screaming,
noises.
raving
Top
madness
ten
of Tottenham.
It's the worst part. It's the worst crowd to go to. All the mums
It's
waiting.
the worst.
All the mums
It's
waiting
the
outside.
worst, yeah.
You can't get in to begin with without being hassled by them.
They're all bloody handstanding, fucking kicking you in the face. It's horrible.
Do you know much about their team? Because I've been keeping it quite.
I don't know
secret,
anything
but
about them. Incomprehensible.
I heard before the podcast started, the pot had some insider knowledge on the Southampton team.
On Southampton,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, they might do alright, but probably
They're
not.
one to watch.
Because
they're one to watch.
maybe not.
But only
Well, no,
if
it's a
you're-
really clever tactic they use because if they're handstanding, they can't hand ball.
They are honestly.
So they just,
one of those
if the ball's
teams-
near the feet, they just near their hands, they just header it, and then they can kick with up kicks,
It's really good.
and it just sends it miles.
I heard they got some reverse basketballers on the team.
Yeah,
They're
because
a team
similar skill
that you
set.
can't really predict, which is a bit
Yeah.
difficult for this kind of.
They're a
race.
wild card, yeah. But
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
figure
famously, they employ wild magic.
Honestly,
which is,
they could literally go wherever we
hit or
don't
miss.
have a space by the end of this. I would
They
say.
might do. You know what, man? I feel like you might be right.
Yeah. So how do you think Gordon Ramsay's team's going to get on this season?
They've got a lot of knives, and they are sharpened.
Depends on how involved he
And-
is in like the actual club direction. Because
I mean, he's usually there with his war horn and his massive war drum that he just beats
His
relentlessly.
Because,
war
I mean, if he is like shouting
His war pot,
like
yes.
at the players and getting them ready for the games, then sure they start.
Well, so
unless
the
unless
thing
he goes
with
too
Gordon
hard on
Ramsay
them,
is that
that's the
he's very encouraging whilst you're on the pitch because everyone's in front. But when you get into the changing rooms, he has killed people before if they don't
Really?
perform well.
I've never-
He
I don't.
yeah
take
no he
him
gouged
as
someone's
a,
eyes out with
I don't take him as a
with
particularly
sausages.
angry man.
No, it's a hidden side to him.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know. No, he's sort of furious and kind of quite sort of erratic and terrifying.
Jesus, I didn't realise.
Obviously, I mean, out on the pitch, publicly facing, he's very cordial and sportsmanlike. But
To be fair,
yeah, no, it could be pretty
I'm kind
dangerous.
of more into my aggressive cooking shows such as MasterChef. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love a bit of MasterChef.
yeah,
Battery biscuit pastes and all that.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned
Brilliant. But yeah.
cheesecakes
you
all the
know,
way.
Figures quite well, especially because his daughters are apparently on the team, and apparently
Oh,
yeah.
that's cheap. That's nepotism. God,
That
I
is-
hate
it
I
is-
hate to see it.
you hate it because it is pretty unfair.
It's pretty unfair. They all have 5 legs each. I mean, what? It's
Yeah.
that's not allowed. Why could you? How can that be fair? Like, I mean, wolves fine because they're on all 4s, but 5 legs on a human?
I don't want to get
Just-
into, this has been discussed a lot on Match of the Day and all sorts, whether
I
there,
tune in all
should,
the
whether
time,
there
yeah.
should be a limit on the amount of feet a player should have. And the,
Well, no, they do it by total in the team.
because the Octopi
should
Union
average
have
to-
been very passionate about bumping up the numbers of feet so then they can get their full Octopi squad. At that time,
Yeah, well, no, you have to have for every octopus you have to have at least like one flamingo that's just hopping.
It's the only,
Just stands
it's the only
there, it
thing
doesn't
that's
move.
stopping the
Yeah,
Japanese.
they have to stand. It's,
The only thing stopping the Japanese leagues from getting back in after Mr. D. They've gone.
Some say it's something of a racially motivated rules change,
Yeah.
but
But I think it'd be.
I'm
I don't
not
want
here
to
to
say
get
anything
into
about
controversy.
FIFA in the FA, but I've heard that they're not particularly nice people.
Matt, what a controversial thing. I've never heard anyone suggest such a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so Sheffield,
Sheffield.
pretty kind of motivated team. I feel like they're going to do better than how do they do like this season, Matt? I can't remember.
they finished, what was it, 8th? So they did pretty well.
8th.
Yeah.
Hey, I only
Eighth.
lost 2 players.
I don't know if
to
they
a
can beat that
Yeti.
high, to be honest.
I mean,
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
Whether maybe
they
Gordon
are-
they were
Ramsay
pretty good
bumps
players,
up
weren't
the
they?
numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has been known to actually secretly field a 12th member on the team.
well,
It's just
I mean,
kind of hard
before,
to see.
Before
They
Gordon
paint them
Ramsay
green.
took over, they were sort of known as the Brexit team.
Brexit team.
And I don't want to say anything about like just the support.
Don't mean to get political.
for them seems to have grown, and generally the bigger the club, the worse they tend to do. With that immediate growth, they're never as good as they were the first time. It's kind of
Are we
like
still on
it's kind of like a
Sheffield, by the
sequel.
way?
It's
Are we
never
on
as good as the
Newcastle?
original movie.
This is good old.
So
Sheffield.
I don't think they're going to do as well.
I think it is a
No,
brave
I don't
strategy,
know if they
and we'll
can beat
see how
Brighton.
the try and get
'Cause, you
people
know-
to streak across the field to kick a ball into the goal strategy works out this season.
Because new
worked
owners.
out.
I mean,
Well,
the
new
Twitter campaign was
players.
pretty compelling. I nearly did it. I don't even live near a stadium.
Yeah. I did do
Yes.
it.
I put them in the lower
Did you?
half.
Yeah.
You put them in the lower half, yeah.
It's very
yeah.
cold and it's hard to run uphill, but I had a good go at it.
Yeah, it's less incentivizing in the colder climates because
Yeah.
you tend to shrivel up a bit in the cold.
Yeah, it's kind of why I did it. I thought it'd be a little bit difficult for them to get some away games here. Thought I'd give them
All right, okay. What have we got? Newcastle. So
Newcastle.
I mean, right, the last Castle evidently was a non-starter.
Was not good enough.
It lasted a
personally,
good amount of time, but
controversially,
it did crumble.
I really enjoyed Oldcastle.
Oh yeah, no, it was good. It clearly needed some repairs, but I don't like the new designs at all.
Yeah.
A bungalow, really? I mean, what? Why? It's
just a
a castle.
bungalow.
What's going on?
It's the fact that
Come on, have some stairs, have some spine.
Oldcastle, all the players came on, having drunk a bit of mulled wine, some scotch on the rocks, and then this Newcastle comes in. It's all these newfangled cocktails, sex on the beach. It's just,
Bloody Appletinis.
It's not the same club anymore.
It's just not the same.
They tried to carry on kind
Times
of
have
that
changed.
gentleman, old alcoholic thing, but since they've just hired in a load of new people and redone the stadium into a brand new castle, it's just,
Yeah, mind you, sugar highs probably might help the football effort.
Yeah, to be fair.
Only if
And-
you can get them directed towards the other goal.
No,
You have to,
Otherwise
it's like
otherwise it's
Adderall.
gonna
You
be
have
a
to
bit
make sure they focus on the right
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
will that counteract?
I mean, if you paint if you in the home games, if they just paint the other goal like a sort of aggressive pink or something and get it all glittery, and maybe have like a 40 on the top, and then like a sort of like a couple cock rings or something, make it look proper Hindu-esque, and they'll just put beeline straight towards it every time. I wonder if they'll do that. I'm not
Do you
sure.
know whether
Pretty sure
they
it's a common thing in Newcastle.
do they?
Yeah, is that? Well, yeah.
It's like a standard
they-
night out in Newcastle.
However, I will say from what
There's-
I heard, it's that they've replaced all of the catapults and they've got some trebuchets.
See, they take a long time to load, and it's only a 90-minute game.
But they are.
Also,
they
the
are
range.
better.
It's kind of an unnecessary range, though, right? Like,
Necessary range.
Football pitch isn't
pitch
that
isn't
big.
that large.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
fact that the catapults got found last time and used by the opponent team. So their plan is to kind of put the trebuchets a little bit further out, so you can't
Outside
You
really.
could put
the
the
pitch.
trebuchet in like Brighton,
Yeah,
and then angle it pretty good, and you might get a
With a
good
good-
arc
with a good
about
wind.
half time.
it's
The
why they're
ones-
going to
it's
do
the
a.
ones
Yeah,
in
right.
your
You need a good
favour.
headwind.
It's why I don't see Newcastle getting above Brighton, just because they have put all their trebuchets there.
That you never put all your trebuchets in
In
one
one
Brighton,
city.
as the saying always goes.
It's up
Okay,
there with
right,
when
so we
there's
got-
cows. There's
When there's cows, there's milk. Oh, that's going to be on our merch one day.
One
day.
One day.
Right, Man City. No, wait, Man United first.
Well,
of
we
course.
kind of
Right.
have to talk about them together because
We have to talk about them. in a minute, yeah.
Manchester.
So the old team, Manchester. How do they do last season, Matt?
You really asking a lot of me here. I wasn't paying that much attention.
You didn't follow Manchester's.
Look, I know they're
all-
not particularly.
all-
It wasn't a particularly interesting team, but
They probably did all right. I can't really remember.
Manchester's
usually
never been
pretty
known
good.
for its football.
yeah, they've got a strong footballing culture over there. I just don't know how the civil wars affected it. I feel like it's going to make
still
life pretty
This is what I was
going
going
difficult.
to say. Man,
It's still going on. I mean,
Man
And I can't believe
United
they-
is a little bit of an oxymoron because you can't be united as
It's
one
actually man divided,
It's
I
just
think.
one man.
there's not one man.
You know-
Well, maybe they're going to do one man. I don't know. Do you think they're going to do a Voltron-esque
Yeah.
kind of single
Maybe.
giant mecha? as
They,
their
they,
single
they all
player?
just hold hands and run at the ball.
They all hold hands. Yeah, exactly. It's just this enormous man
You
pyramid.
know what I can't believe? I can't believe that they're debating kind of the result of the Civil War all on the facings of Man City and Man United this season.
I think it's fitting.
It's
It's fitting.
fitting.
It's all about football.
It's all about
keep it,
football.
Keep it
It's like
football.
the
Until
one
it
thing
is.
in
Let's
that
not.
city.
Let's leave the bloodshed to the pitches, okay? Why destroy our lovely city, right? Like, Well, I think it's a noble decision, and we'll have to wait and
It's a
see if it
humane-
stays upheld, and the gentleman's agreement is
No.
agreed consistent throughout the year. I reckon a couple of them are going to go.
I think that it
torch
is
some
going to
pictures
be
and stuff.
quite split, because myself and Jack, we're heavy city folk, grown up on the streets all our
City
lives.
till I die. Yeah.
City till I die. Whereas the pot is, more of a countryside kind of
bit
thing,
of a bumpkin.
rural. A little bit country bumpkin. I remember when we first met him. We were in a club and he was over there, and he just didn't know where he was. Came over.
Couldn't get his head around contactless. He was just completely baffled.
He was
But
asking
where does the card
where
go?
the stables were.
What did I do with my guineas and shillings?
He's like, I've got my horse. I don't know how I got it in. This is Opal. She's getting pretty confused and quite overwhelmed by all the fashion
I've tied
lights and
her up
very angry
around
loud
all
people.
those metal boxes with wheels, all those big wheelbarrows outside.
Yeah, why your wheelbarrows got like side doors? I don't get it.
So I think it's going to get quite interesting when we discuss them later, because I think us two are really going to be supporting City, whereas you're going to really be, building up the rural community with Man United. Aren't you? I don't know. Have you been convinced by the City's ways?
I mean,
since your education.
I don't know. I don't really care. It's football.
He
Don't
doesn't
really
care.
care.
Doesn't care.
I can't believe this. You're always talking to us about football.
It's that country lifestyle, man. They're just not
Yeah,
really.
it's
just
that
carefree life.
It's the
comes, it
mountain
goes.
football scene. He's more into his mountain football.
But you know what they say, football's not good unless it's got some hills in it.
Yeah.
That's the old saying.
So
So we're thinking, what we think? I personally feel like City's got the edge. I think
yeah.
they have Bluetooth
They have
stuff
more
going on.
buildings.
They have some cloud-based technology.
A lot less spread out.
A lot less spread out. It's far less concentrated.
Fibre optic.
And they got fibre optic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some
A
insurance.
better
I reckon.
economy, yeah.
Their accounting department's a bit
Yeah.
more advanced, I'd say. Mind you, United's got the harvest. And
They do.
it's going to be a pretty good harvest next year. So
Yeah, they control
they'll
the
get that
food.
bumper crop of new football players.
And I don't want to say anything, but scarecrows.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I don't think we need to
That's a good
elaborate on that point anymore.
No. I mean, Premier League followers a bit bored sick of all the scarecrow talk. It's been such a hot topic.
It's such a
I
hot
really don't
topic.
understand the controversy.
Just
It's
the
so
many applications of them, kind of their impact on the culture altogether. Just
yeah.
If I had one thing to say about scarecrows, it would be I am speechless, because there is so much to sum up that one word cannot do it
Yeah,
justice.
no, that's right.
Anyway,
All right. Anyway, well,
let's talk
move
about
on to
Liverpool.
good old
I
Liverpool.
forget
Liverpool.
about the
Global
you know.
warming.
now.
It's a real issue.
Has the
So-
global warming affected Liverpool?
A little bit, as the name suggests. It's a bit marshy. The pitch is not really a pitch anymore. It's kind of there's a lot of standing water.
All the
Apparently
birds
it's
Might
are
got-
slow
gone.
down the pace of play a bit.
They mainly spent money on the new manager, which was from Venice, to try and help with the new...
That makes a lot of sense. They have the technology
Yeah.
over there. They're used to
Yeah.
it. They know what they're doing.
Boats.
Yeah. They finally got more canals than Solihull.
Yeah,
Funny that.
fantastic. I think it's really great that water polo is finally being introduced, not as a separate sport, but as an
Why were they competing?
alternative
Why were they
rule
competing?
set
Yeah.
that,
It's just exactly. It's just a sequel. It's like an expansion. You know.
It's basically when starting a game, you say what style you want to go for. More.
Well, so both teams, they to explain to all the viewers who maybe aren't so familiar with football, what happens is that the ref goes, right, 3, 2, 1, and then both of the team captains say whatever style of play they're going to do, and simultaneously, so there's no kind of counterplay. But obviously, everyone knows Liverpool's a die-hard water polo team.
Water polo
Like,
team.
it just
And,
they come with the six ready. I mean,
Yeah,
Just
and it's
what more
they
do you need?
decide if both teams want something different. They'll go down to a very skillful game of rock paper scissors, best of one,
Yeah, well, I mean, how
Yeah.
else would you
You know, it is. I'm happy for them as a mountain footballer myself, and the pot. You know, I really hope that mountain football might one day get the recognition in the field that water polo.
It's
has
unlikely.
gotten. It's unlikely.
It's unlikely.
It's
It's
less
nowhere near as
popular.
exciting. Water polo, I mean,
And
where
similar
else
to
are you going to get all that
WWE,
action?
people think it's kind of more of a. People think it's fake. People.
Yeah, I
think
know,
that
which is
it's-
frustrating because you can tell them. You can tell they're not pulling the punches. I've seen real blood in water polo.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
brutal blood sport, and the people who play it are truly sadistic and should be feared and maybe even locked up. Which leads us on to our next point: Leicester.
Leicester.
No, Leicester.
Leicester has been locked up. Currently.
Funny how that. You know what? Bizarrely, when I was leading into it, I hadn't considered that, but it's funny how life works out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, with the lockup,
With the lockup.
I don't know if they'll even qualify. We'll have to wait and see.
They may
But it's
not
been quite a
have
setback.
a team.
The zombies
The
have
team
been
might not
quite.
be
They
allowed
have a
to
team.
house.
They're just all housebound.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the zombies
but
have
they
been.
might
they all
quite a
live together in their
nuisance.
big team house, and they're practicing pretty hard. But
They might not be allowed to
Just-
leave. Is the problem.
they might not be allowed to leave. They're going to have to play on the border of Leicester,
Yeah.
All the
and
other
they can't
teams have
actually. I
got
mean,
to
if you
come
can't go
to
into the other team half, you just have to boot it from
Yeah.
your half.
Hey,
They
Again,
are at
you
a
know,
significant
defense.
disadvantage, only being able
It's
to.
really quite. It's really quite.
But
Our
at the same
medical
team,
expert-
same team, same time. The other teams can't go into them because they're locked. in.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So, but it's obviously
Just become a big.
the ground in Leicester's a bit. Yeah, it's not quite as good. It's more ashy and kind of barren.
Mm.
It's not as great.
You know, I think it is like it is going to dissolve into kind of more of a beach volleyball kind of
Yeah, probably.
scenario. But I think what's interesting is I don't know about this. I'll have to check in with our resident health experts, the pot. But how is the zombie apocalypse going in Leicester?
I wouldn't know. I'm not there.
You're not there, but I
Well,
thought
there we have it. There's
I
our.
thought that's
There's
where.
our
I
health
thought you had
correspondent,
some.
Matthew.
I thought you had some family out there. I thought or have you not heard from them in a while?
No, haven't heard from
No.
them.
That's probably
I haven't heard from them
probably
in
a
a
touchy
long
subject, Chris. I won't go there.
Last thing they were asking about was brains, wasn't it?
Honestly, I couldn't.
It was
I
brains
couldn't tell if
question
it was-
mark, and you left it on red.
Couldn't
You
tell if it was
bastard.
brains or if
Way
it
to
just
way to talk
misspelled
to your
Brian's or
sister-in-law.
something.
Brains or
Brian's.
brains?
Brian's.
To say it's been raining a bit. Who knows?
Well, I don't. I mean, I haven't seen a horde of undead play football since. I mean, it's got to be the World Cup. What is it? 3 years ago? Can't
yeah,
remember.
I think so.
But I mean, it worked. It worked pretty well there.
Yeah.
But is it really now? I think it's a bit last year.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest.
I think
No one
people
really
are
likes the zombie
used
horde.
to the strategies of trying to eat.
Yeah, I
the
mean, they're just-
opposing team.
They just try and eat you.
They're just
You just
ready.
don't
for
let
it.
them eat you.
You know, the meta's
So
evolved.
it's the one strategy. It's just too easy.
They're on zombie energy, whilst the rest of the world's on COVID energy.
Exactly. That's exactly it. I don't think zombie energy is going to work. I think they might even. I might do pretty poorly. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Leading
Low
into
hopes,
it.
low hopes for Leicester, but Leeds.
yeah, low hope, very low hope for Leicester.
Got any leads on that? Leads?
Leeds on Leeds.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Honestly,
No one knows.
I think-
they're famously the most secretive
Did the
of
Leeds-
the teams.
There's a lot
Were
of
the
secretive
Leeds-
teams in the league.
were the
Yeah, well, obviously they keep their cards close to their chest in off season, of course. But Leeds famously play in a misty like pitch, so you can't actually
mean,
see
I
what
had-
was at all. It's not very fun to watch.
I had heard that the Leeds in Leeds were the Leeds that kept all the wolves and corgis restrained.
Right. That's an
Yeah.
interesting tactic they might have employed. So you think they're letting loose the corgis, or you think they're trying
Yeah,
to
I
keep
think they're effectively just they're going to use
Unleash the corgis.
They're going to unleash all Wolverhampton on the rest of the
Yeah.
league.
Have they
and
have they
sneak in
subsumed
behind-
Wolverhampton?
and sneak in behind Wolverhampton to finish?
Oh, so when it's a Wolverhampton game, it's actually a Leeds game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're stealing all
That's
of
clever.
Wolverhampton's points.
That's clever. I'm surprised no one's. It's nowhere in the rules. It's nowhere in the rules.
I've not read the rules, have you?
Nowhere in the rules does it say that it's only a 2-team game. People would just take it as read.
It's not cricket, is all I'll say.
It's not cricket.
Not cricket. Famous multi-team game there. 5 different people trying to hit a ball into a home run. I don't know.
Yes, that It's a different podcast.
We'll do that
we're
next
getting
time.
off topic. Don't get me started on cricket. You know,
Yeah, we started.
I can't stop talking about cricket.
Yeah, there was one on your leg a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Matt. Well, no, it wasn't actually a cricket. You heathen racist. It was actually a different bug that I can't think of the name.
Whoa!
Just watch your tongue. Right. Well, Leeds. I mean, Mysterious. I feel like we have to average it out. They historically haven't done amazingly because turns out if it's a foggy pitch, you can just pick up the ball and run past them all. And for some reason, everyone else has purchased night vision goggles, and they all know the strat, so that's fine. Yeah. But
it's the only time you can get away with
Leeds,
picking up the ball, in heavy fog.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame because Leeds, you'd expect to be the most prepared for it, considering that Leeds is covered in a constant fog.
Yeah, but they always get outplayed at their own game. Essentially, it's kind of depressing. I don't understand how they haven't got relegated.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if their name had ever in it, we probably would have relegated them. I'll be honest. Something tells me.
So speaking of relegation, Fulham got relegated into the Premier League. Do you think they'll be getting up into the top 3 and going back up?
Now we already know.
I don't know what seems to be the issue. Something seems to really have tickled you there, Jack. You know, I just
completely forgot about the Ascended League. I just completely forgot. I mean, so it's they've got kind of the tactics don't really actually play in the Premier League. I feel like it's kind of a different. It's not really the same game.
It's more football. You know, I find the elevated league to be very hard to follow, just because the skill cap is so high that as a casual observer, you can't follow.
It's complicated.
It's so complicated.
Yeah, it's like watching two AIs playing each other at chess. You're just like, I don't know what to make of this.
The Premier League is the most popular one.
Yeah, it's just more digestible.
Yeah.
You know. You can watch it drunk. Try watching the Ascended League drunk. God.
Some teams play it drunk. I mean, look at
yeah, well, it's a pretty
Newcastle.
successful strategy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the drunken man fighting style where you're unpredictable because you're all like tipsy and you miss the ball all the time. Works surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think.
Well, so I don't know. I didn't get a look at their team. Because obviously we don't have aerials that go that high, so I can never see.
They just can't get the higher radio waves.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. It's frustrating, but it's salt flats, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, we get great signal off the elevated league. It's very good, and
Yeah.
Unlike
What kind of team do they field then?
It's where mountain football leagues are allowed to they bustle it out to the ground football leagues.
Okay.
Which is why there's only one relegated down to the Premier League, because the other two got relegated into the Mountain Premier League.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but
So yeah, what are we thinking of Fulham then?
They are not full of ham.
They're full of ham,
full of
right?
ham,
Okay.
and I'm worried
that seems
bit of a hindrance, I would say.
It's quite heavy.
I mean,
Is
we've
that,
already
you think
heard
that's
your
what did
opinions
weighed
on
them
ham
down, and that's why they
earlier with
lost?
West Ham.
I think.
Well, West Ham didn't do poorly because of the ham.
They did worse than West Brom because you didn't like ham.
West Ham didn't do poorly because of the ham, Matthew. West Ham did poorly, and then because of the West, and also
did worse
have
than
ham,
Brom
which means
because
they're
of
only
the
going to do
ham.
worse. No, they're only going to do worse next year
that's what
because
I'm saying,
ham
because
is not the meat of
so
the
if
future.
you're full of ham, that's already a hindrance.
No, the thing is, it's kind of like a tipping
Maybe.
point. Like having a lot of ham isn't great.
There's
But
an
when you
unhammy
go
valley, you
full
might say.
ham, like
I'm glad we
So you don't want to
actually
be
have
caught in
someone
the
who knows
unhammy
what
valley,
he's
right in the
talking
middle.
about for this.
they are fully committed to ham. All these other
Whereas West Ham is only a quarter ham.
these flaky ass football teams. We're only gonna have the wet of the ham, or we're gonna have some toddlers
10 ham?
mixed in with it.
I'd like 10 ham, please. Come on.
Whereas full
you
ham,
can take more than 10 ham.
I would be surprised
Full
if full
ham.
ham doesn't go into the
Straight back up
top
into the
three.
ascended.
Straight back
the
up into the
ascended.
ascended league. As you all know,
Okay.
it's the top two teams go up, and then there's a small competition between the top two mountain football leagues and the top two football teams. And no, it's the top three from either side, and the three best go up.
Oh right, I see.
But I definitely think they're going to be near the top. Fulham, additionally, a very good team. It's a shame that we only get to see them so rarely.
Yeah, I know. Because it's really frustrating. We need to build a tower because I'm sure it can't be that hard. I mean, just go higher, right?
I don't know.
Might get some signal.
My uncle went to go build one out of baguettes above my dad's store. Never.
Why would your uncle build things out of baguettes? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's because he's a baguette aerial engineer.
I thought he was a thief.
No, that's the other one. I have 7 uncles, which gives me a lot of
Right.
room to expand.
To improv, yeah. That's convenient. It's convenient that you've got 7 uncles. Okay, so we're thinking Fulham's going to be pretty high up. Right. What about the old Crystal Palace?
Well, they're new team, like a
Best
completely.
team. New team equals best team.
Yeah, and it's surprising.
That's
because
true. Fresh team smell.
They're not also starting at the bottom of the league table like all of the others. Like normally.
Do they get a head start because they're new?
They got a head start because basically they're supposed to start at the bottom, and they challenged the referee guild to a one-on-one football match, and they actually managed to beat the referee guild, which, as you know, allows you to start all the way up in the Premier League.
Wow, that's pretty mad.
Yeah, it's very good, especially because all of them live within Crystal Palace as well. All of the players, all the substitutes.
It's a big palace.
They've got plenty of space for relaxation between games.
They're very relaxed. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And they're fresh into it. No burnout, none of that. They're not tired.
Not tired.
Well rested.
They're well rested. They got plenty of room to practice. They've got everything going for them, really.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I'm reckoning Crystal Palace is going to be pretty high up. I mean, they've got Pal in the name. They're clearly. So for a new team, are they like? How's their sort of ratings? Do they have a fan base yet? Because obviously that's a pretty important part of the game because of all the the voting and stuff.
They're not a loud fan base, but
they have a
not many people.
Small. And
the voting machines only let you. It's not based on volume. It's just
as much as I can sing the
click.
praises for Crystal Palace, their fans are very aggressive, very full of themselves.
That's interesting. They have absolutely nothing. There's no data yet. I mean, they don't even know how well they're going to do.
I think, and I don't want to sound rude, but really, you should look yourself in the mirror and think where your life went if you're supporting Crystal Palace.
Oh man, I felt. Would you say then, in a way, that the new Aston Villa, perhaps?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of jumping.
Morally reprehensible.
Yeah, morally reprehensible to support.
Right, just specifically to support.
It's
the
kind
team
of people
are fine.
who will be supporting Fulham this year, where it's kind of like they're just supporting because they're a good team, and not because there's any passion behind supporting the team.
There's no passion.
There's
no soul.
Because the thing is, there's not that many people who live within Crystal Palace,
No, it's just the team mostly.
It's literally just the team and that.
Yeah, the manager.
And
of course. Yeah.
I think a Subway's also in there.
No, they did a deal. Yeah, they got
the deal.
Sponsored by
sandwiches, man.
Yeah. So Crystal Palace, great team, horrible fans.
Right. So you think they're going to do pretty well then?
Yeah, I think so. I think, annoyingly, the fans do have a point. They are a good.
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens, especially with fans as abrasive and cold and hard to work with as Crystal Palace fans.
Hard to work with.
Are you okay? You're getting a little bit rough there, the pod.
I'll just see myself out. It's fine.
I love the fact
another classic quality of Crystal Palace fans. No commitment.
No
commitment to anything.
This podcast goes out, and there's still a guarantee there is. A lot of people won't understand what's going on there. But
they'll have no idea, and they'll have no way of figuring it out either.
And it's a good thing as well, because it means you've not been cursed with a Crystal Palace fan in your life. God damn. People who have
You don't know
Crystal
the
Palace
pain.
fan
This
mates,
is a
you know
healthy working.
You know what we're talking about.
This is a healthy work relationship we have going on here.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, who do you support, Chris? Who do you? What's your team of
I
choice?
support. I'm more into my mountain football league. I'm with the Snowdonia Flyers. Though I do support a little bit the Ben Nevis Newbies, but they're quite a new team. Who've only just relegated into the Mountain Premier League. But I really like the look of their stuff in League Two.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. All right.
What teams do you guys support?
I don't know any. We don't. It was Salt Flats, man. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Can't play football.
Too hot. What about you, the pot? Do you support anyone?
Should we just talk about Chelsea?
Should we just talk about Chelsea, perhaps? All right, Chelsea it is.
Chelsea. First off, why are they called Chelsea? They're nowhere near the sea.
They're nowhere near the sea.
They're nowhere near the sea. Just because global warming has made what is effectively a puddle in the middle of their town centre, and the council don't want to add a drain in there, so they've just classified it as the 8th sea of the world.
Yeah, they just kicked it in the long grass, really, didn't they?
And I think
Stonewalled
Shell
the
is such a
plans.
bad name compared to Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Antarctic.
The
Shell
Chelsea.
isn't a great name.
Caspian.
There are a lot of shells in the sea, though.
Not
That's
in that
true.
puddle, though.
Well, we could just put some in.
You could, but I think that might cover the puddle. If you put more than one in, it's not a big puddle. I've seen it.
Hang on, no. If you put things in a puddle, the puddle gets bigger.
I mean, to an extent.
I would say to an infinite extent.
To an infinite extent, which is
You're going to raise the water level.
of course why the London Channel exists. It used to just be a small stream, but he put so many shells in there, it became a massive channel of water between separated, and that's how we cut ourselves off from Europe.
Yeah. No,
Just
had to get away. Had to get away. All the bloody baguettes, man.
It's amazing as well because we put them along a mountain range in the Siberian wests of the UK, and because snow's partially water, it just made a vertical ocean that went up and down over the mountains. It was amazing.
That's convenient.
Science
Very nice.
is incredible.
What a wacky world we live in.
Anyway, back
Right,
to Chelsea.
How well did Chelsea do
How
last
well
time?
did Chelsea do last time?
On the last episode.
From what I heard, they were close to getting relegated, similar to Aston Villa. However,
right.
I'm not.
What was the issue?
Unlike Aston Villa, I'm not seeing any changes in their team makeup or their management. So,
What's the team like? What's their
the team
particular
like?
sort of tactics and all that?
it's not great. The only change is that they've brought Grealish off Aston Villa, which probably their worst player.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't make any sense. Also, what? Why are we putting real football references 50 minutes into this podcast? What's that about?
What do you mean? I've been doing.
What's that about?
I've been
Putting
doing
real football references.
references
Don't
the
do
entire
that.
time.
Don't be silly. Stop it. You know what you're doing, all right? Be ashamed. God damn it. Anyway, Chelsea. What did they do last time? How many spiders? How many tanks? Did they use missiles? Were there any prisoners? Explain.
The Pops, do you remember anything, or again?
What was
have you
going on
drawn
with
a
them? I
complete
didn't watch.
What? Did you watch any football last time? Because
I watched.
I didn't tell you to watch.
Right.
them.
Funnily enough, I only watched Arsenal, Brighton, Aston Villa, and Burnley.
Yeah.
Really?
Strangely enough. It's funny that.
Conveniently.
Yeah, I don't like. It's because I can't type in we've only got an A and a B key, and it just auto corrects from
An A
there.
and a
So
B.
I can't go any further on the remote's buggered. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Yeah,
not very good.
Not very good.
Just
You
put them
know.
down the bottom.
Right, cool. That's
Whatever.
all we have
do.
for Chelsea apparently. Not just not
Well,
very good.
it's-
Doesn't matter. You don't need to know. You don't need to know what they were doing.
It's similar
not
to
important.
I'd say Chelsea is similar to when you buy something from the store and you take it home and it breaks. You look at the back, it says "Made in Chelsea," and you're like, "Oh, not made in Chelsea." Again.
Finally a joke. Brilliant. Okay, we can move on now. Brighton.
Brighton.
What's a Brighton about? What do
Well,
they
they've got all
do?
the
What's their
trebuchets.
deck type?
They do
Too
have
bright,
all the
really.
trebuchets.
More trebuchets. Oh, they've got a lot of trebuchets now, haven't they?
Yeah, they do have a lot of trebuchets. Also, quite good Because they do blind more teams than any other team in the league. Just
the bright
because, you
is
know,
on.
all of them, all of the players are just.
I mean, they tried Bright Off, but it wasn't a successful
their sister
strat.
team, Bright Off, plays. They never do very
Bright
well.
Somewhere down
Bright
in the
on.
conference. I can't remember where they are. They're not doing
No.
I think also having a lighthouse in the middle of your home arena.
It really helps in the nighttime section of the game.
Well, it's the
The night levels
at the during half time when it's sun goes
where they
down
black
or-
out
Yeah.
because of the blitz. The ongoing blitz.
You know,
that we
I think it's amazing that they managed to find so many people who happen to have a medical condition which makes them to shed excess light off.
Yeah, it's a weird mutation. I'm not
mutation.
familiar.
It's
Is it?
exclusive only to Brighton. Apparently
That's
something
convenient.
about the uranium and plutonium mines beneath the city.
What on earth could it be? I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know.
That's really
I
interesting.
can't think of anything with vibranium or plutonium which would make something, glow. It's odd. It's very, very odd.
No. It's completely. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. But
Yeah. How do they do? So they like to blind people. What's that about then? Is that successful play? I mean, from what I understood, most of the footballers play on tremor sense alone, right? So
I wouldn't know because whenever I try and watch them, it just hurts my eyes.
You can't see
So I
anything. It's just
turn
a
it
white
off.
screen.
it's the same problem as Sheffield, but just
a
like
white
the opposite.
screen. Occasionally,
Yeah.
I'll see the central pillar of the lighthouse with the red and white stripes going all the way up.
It's very bad for ratings because you
Yeah.
turn on, you're like, hang on, this isn't football, and someone's like, wait a minute, I know what's going on here. It's Brighton playing, bloody Brighton.
I think it's why this season, just to kind of help with ratings, they're trying to nerf the team by covering them all in sheets. But does that add a scare factor as people might?
They just look like
This
ghosts.
is like
yeah.
ghosts.
It's terrifying.
Glowing
That's
ghosts.
horrific.
Just
That's-
an eminent.
I don't want to play against a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah.
Because you think they're incorporeal, you run through them, you get a concussion.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. And you can't tell if they're wearing helmets on underneath.
No, we all
So,
know concussion is a straight excuse to get a blue card.
really? I didn't know that.
Mm.
There's
There's
not
a-
a lot of concussion strats. I think it's considered bad form, but
But
obviously
this
everyone knows
season-
Brighton's got
yeah,
very
It's gonna be a lot more
very few
common.
ethics to them. It's not really.
You know,
they're not concerned with that
I
sort of
don't
thing.
think
Anything to win.
I don't know the last time we saw a blue card, but I do remember the pot was telling me about the last time they.
Well, I can
they
tell you
gave
that
one out.
concussions have become a very significant thing within the game of football. And, it's something that
Yeah.
football are genuinely taking quite seriously now. So that is
What's that?
concussions. And,
Right.
but
What about blue
Then
cards?
Blue cards.
why are they putting sheets over
blue
Brighton?
cards are they don't, because the blue cards got their face on it, and they want to use the free disabled parking spaces outside of the gate,
Okay.
outside the ground. So they cover their faces with the sheet.
Moving right along. There you go.
Moving swiftly onwards. Aston Villa. Well, right. The thing about Aston Villa is they had a really bad go of it last season.
But
Really unfortunate.
they got
Really
rid of
underwhelming.
their dead weight. They managed to pass.
Yeah,
a
they
three-year
removed
shop
Jack.
onto Chelsea.
Bloody
Oh.
Jack Sparrow just
Yeah.
got sent off to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do now, though. I mean, they don't have their central front man.
It's
is
interesting.
they don't have the one that's given the stab vest.
I think it's
So, I
very
feel like-
interesting that Aston Villa had decided to fire all of their team and just got Cristiano Ronaldo to be their sole player. They've put all.
I mean,
of
he's
their
really
money-
like, he is a Lamborghini. He transforms into a Lamborghini. I don't know if you saw, but
Yeah.
he's
And
been
he has the-
retrofitted with that
Doesn't he have the
ability.
matrix of leadership?
He does
as
have the
well?
matrix of leadership. It's funny. I was just about to remember the same fact. He does actually possess the matrix of leadership, which, as you know, basically is the win button. So he's gonna do pretty good. I mean, transforming into so they have to give it off-road
Yeah.
tires, of
Is
course, because
your
of all the
camera
grass.
back?
But
It seemed to flicker off. The pot.
Me,
I didn't
Yeah.
have that.
still
Yeah,
here.
you must have missed it. Yeah, it was just
He's live.
you seemed to turn around and then the camera flickered a little bit and it went off and then it came back on. Just wanted to check
Yeah.
everything was okay there.
It's all fine.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry.
fine.
I'm still here. We're still talking about football.
Brilliant.
No, we aren't.
Thought we
Aston
lost
Villa.
you.
No, we're talking about you
I
now.
thought
It's all
they'd
about you.
taken all-
Now, as the fact I'm bored of football, I've decided.
This is all about.
Move on.
This is my podcast.
We're talking about how's yours open? Look, Chris killed the podcast, and we're at least I'm conserving momentum by going in the new direction he's decided we're going in, and we're gonna roll with it. Okay, that's the first lesson of improv. Is yes and.
I had a pretty good day. It's a bit hot.
Yeah. It was pretty hot.
I
hot.
also had a great day, and it was better.
No one cares. No one cares, Fisher. No one's asking you.
You live in a little green room. Get out my entire house. You absolutely do not have a best day. Why on earth would you round up? Famously a very peaceful guy.
Yeah, very peaceful.
It's not violent or morally reprehensible or hard to work with or anything like that. No, he's just very.
I would say that the pot is the complete opposite of a Crystal Palace fan. Kind, considerate, always thinking of others, letting other people talk.
It's very tolerant.
Very tolerant. Very chilled out. Doesn't get stressed.
Yeah, very chilled out.
Country bumpkin lifestyle.
Very hard to wind up as well.
Very hard to wind up. There's no nibble factor.
But yeah,
you know where you stand.
I think it's a controversial play, but Cristiano Ronaldo, people say is as good as 20 men, which considering you're only allowed 11 men on pitch.
That's more than 20.
Almost double.
That's nine more men worth he is.
Yeah.
And he was given the Matrix of Leadership by the Queen last year, so I think.
Now, continuing in reverse alphabetical order, we have Burnley. Now, are they okay? First off,
I mean, as long as you're not called Lee, you're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay. As long as there's no player called Lee, because they will spontaneously catch fire
Poor
as
Lee,
soon as they enter Burnley.
Poor Lee.
He's been trying to get on the team so much, and at the start of every season,
he really wants to be on the team, and they just sacrifice him as an effigy at the start for good omens every time. It's weird magic they employ. I don't understand.
Joins the club. You're asking for trouble.
It's like, well, chaps,
they always
it's
get
the
the first goal though, just because nobody wants to go near Lee when the match starts.
On the first 5 minutes of the first match, it's terrifying because there is a fireman at the start, but then he burns out. He starts screaming, and it's just sad.
And I think the great thing is that it's why Burnley tends to be so great in the league, just because they're usually have that intimidation factor that they can bring in a Lee at any moment for their signature maneuver. And
they've always got another Lee.
As we all know, the first goal is worth the most points.
Yeah, it's like first blood kind of thing.
Blood kind of thing. It's why all
the first kill is also worth the most points, famously.
It's why all of the games started at the exact same time, whereas the end it doesn't matter. You just kind of stagger that.
No, you play them in any order, but they're on the timer.
Yeah, they're on a timer, and Burnley always gets
it. And the goal moves about of it, which really makes it a lot more difficult, a lot more fun.
It's amazing that London decided to rename their London FC to Burnley, just in name for their specific technique.
Just fuck Lee, man. Yeah. They really hate him.
It's great as well because they got to take the name off Burnley just because it burnt down when Lee the Baker set fire to that part of outer London in the Great Fire of London.
Yeah, well, it's in honour, isn't it? Obviously, Guy Fawkes's actual name was Lee, so that's where it comes from. London have a long-standing kind of blood feud between them and the Lee tribe. Yeah. So I think it's only a matter of time before they just get disqualified, just throughout sheer malice. I mean, as the Queen is also the Queen of football, and she can just be gone.
I mean
sets of corgis on you.
She is locked up at the moment, so hopefully.
So she's locked up.
Hopefully, she's not gotten out.
I don't know about you, but I've never seen a chain thick enough to actually hold down the Queen for long.
Yeah.
Okay. So just mark my words, she'll get out. It's only a matter of time.
It's with how 2020's been going,
a
queen on the loose.
Queen on the loose is worth two in the bush. I think is the phrase.
This zombie apocalypse, COVID, all sorts.
It's all happening, man. Yeah. Right. So Burnley, I don't think they're long for this world. I think they're not going to be great. Anyways,
I thought they were going to do
Arsenal.
I think they'll do good early on, maybe not so later on when they run out of Lees. It's a
Exactly.
real
They
issue.
can't be many
they
left.
had one strap.
Like they were last season, they were going through them at a ridiculous pace.
We were just popping
It was like
out
one a match.
leads. They had an infinite supply
Here's
of
another lead.
leads.
Here's another lead. Half fucking time. Here's another lead.
I think they have enough to survive one more season, but I think next season
Maybe one more.
be when they're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
And finally,
Well, that's-
Arsenal,
yeah.
which
Arsenal.
unfortunately had that Arsenal of weapons kind of taken off. So this is a temporary name until they figure out their new one.
I mean, I'm sure they'll procure more. They've got a year's time. They never said that you can't get more. They just said those ones are too good. Give them here. We need them for the war effort. They were hoarding all this like
Against the
yeah, well,
zombies
exactly.
or
They were
against
hoarding
the
all this like
COVID?
military tech, and it's just like, lads, can we look? Fucking, I can't remember which team, but one of the other teams that we said earlier is using
Leicester.
trebuchets. Like
The
you're
old
sitting here
Newcastle.
on.
Told
You're
you
sitting here
can't.
with bazookas and tactical RPGs and big tanks and stuff. Just give it. I want it.
Yeah.
I want it. And then they you know, everyone knows if you invoke the "I want it" law in football, you just get given it straight away. I heard they're just going with knives this year. It's kind of a theme. They're doing a bit of a sort of marketing push, and
A lot of teams are going
short
for
range.
knives this year.
it's going to be a stabby one. It's going to be a stabby one, you know.
Stabby one.
I don't think the paramedics are really. They're going to have to hire a lot more paramedics
Yeah.
because I don't see what's going on. It's going to be and vets. There's a lot of animal teams.
A lot of animals.
Have you ever seen a wolf
Just-
with a cut
More
off
doctors.
tail? It's not fun.
Didn't need a lot
And
of.
all the doctors are busy
Well, they're busy
sorting
with
out the
COVID,
pandemic and
yeah.
the zombie stuff, you know.
But with the zombies and the
Short supply.
zombies and the death and everything might be.
We've
useful.
gone
Yeah.
If we can
through.
get some.
We've talked a little bit about all the teams, so I guess that now it's going to be much easier to figure
Much
out what
quicker
everyone-
to remember all of the things we've said about all of the teams because we decided it would be a bad idea to place them whilst we were doing it.
Yes.
Right.
Which you know,
Well,
I'm very
should
proud. I think we made the
Thank
right
you
choice. I'm
so
very happy with the
much,
choice we
Jack,
made.
for-
No, I stand by it. You know, commitment is everything. Okay.
Who are we putting at the top then? Who out of everybody we
So
just
Fulham's
talked
got
about?
to be high up
I
there.
think Fulham.
I thought we
Fulham
Tottenham
has to be pretty
Tottenham
high.
are aiming for
Tottenham
11th,
were looking
right?
strong.
Because or
Tottenham,
10th. They're aiming for 10th, but
Yeah,
Well,
but I
they-
think they'll do that. Well, we
we
were
said
saying we
that-
thought they might do 11th.
Yeah.
So we'll
So
start
put-
with them.
put them,
We'll start with
yeah.
them as a sort of benchmark. So there they go. There's 11th. Then we've got right. So we'll put Fulham near the top.
We'll put it at number 2 at the moment, and if there
Okay, we'll put them at 2.
there
yeah.
might be an upset. I think somebody might be able to take the title.
Yeah. What are we looking at here?
You know.
So where do we think City and United will go?
well,
I think it'll be
mean,
close.
it's going to be the
It's
two
gonna
of
be
them
close.
side by side the whole way through.
Yeah, definitely side by side. But I'm wondering where
It's
roughly
impressive.
maybe
because
we'll
they've-
leave them till later. I
Their
don't know.
teams are made up of identical twins on either side of the wall.
Yeah, which I think was pretty unnecessarily spiteful. But
Yeah.
there we are. I don't know. Well, we've got the Wolves. Where are we feeling the Wolves
The
go?
Wolves with the
I think the
Corky
Wolves are
Chihuahua.
pretty
Fucking
powerful.
I,
Pretty
yeah,
powerful
That's
with their-
terrifying.
the only
I feel
team
like
that
they've
can
gotta be
really
a
beat
4,
them is
maybe.
Leeds, and Leeds are only useful against Wolverhampton. No other team.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Leeds,
so we'll
Leeds.
put
I
Leeds up
don't
here.
know if Leeds do they go above
I don't-
Wolverhampton since
I don't
they
think
can
they go
only
above
beat Wolverhampton.
You don't think? Okay.
They also sneak in behind Wolverhampton, so it makes sense for them to be just
Of course.
behind.
Well, you feel like that, so they're guaranteed to pick you back the goals then every time, right? Like,
I think Liverpool.
I mean, Wolves are wild animals, Jack. It's
Yeah.
not.
well, I think what's going to happen is that on the Leeds Wolverhampton game, they won't be able to do the same trick, and then they'll just get all eaten alive by the
And then
Wolves.
that's it. They're out for the rest
Out
of
of
the
spite.
season.
And then that's it. Yeah. So if it's early in the season, I don't know. I haven't seen the schedule yet, but if it's
No.
early in the season, it's not looking good.
It tends to be later in the season. Because they tend
Really?
to have the same matches. They never
Ah,
change up
okay,
the
that
order
makes sense.
every year.
course,
It's
yeah,
only
yeah.
you just sub in the people who've kind of been
Yeah, yeah.
relegated. I believe this
So we've
year-
d Sheffield. They were looking pretty strong.
Gordon
I'd say
Ramsay.
maybe about sort of 10 and 9.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's
Yeah.
looking fairly competent.
He's
Yeah,
looking
they did
live.
above
He keeps drinking. He keeps
I
drinking
think-
like gecko blood, and
I
he
mean,
keeps
the man's
getting
on
younger
TikTok.
every fucking year.
The
The man's
every
on
year he gets
TikTok
younger.
these days.
Yeah. I think just out of the relegation zone, probably Liverpool.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Liverpool. I mean,
They've
What
not.
have
They're
what
no
have they
longer
got?
Liverpool. You know, I don't know whether
Yeah.
they've adapted fast enough to the changing
Exactly.
climate.
and Chelsea's probably down there too. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah.
they're just a puddle after all. It's not great. Crystal Palace, definitely. Well,
No,
I thought
as you said,
we were saying they're pretty good,
team.
actually.
yeah, they're.
Maybe you put them.
No, I
them at
I
8.
think they might be third. I think they might
Third.
be third. Yeah, I think they might be third.
Really?
I don't think they got the
What
top
about
position.
Burnley?
Burnley again. They're a one trick. They burn all the leads.
They've got a lot of
If
leads.
they got a lot of these, they'll do all right. So
I
maybe.
I think.
Or
I think sixth.
Sixth.
I think sixth.
Okay. All right. What about Leicester?
Leicester.
Short.
Leicester.
Right now.
I mean, yeah.
It's not looking good at the moment.
lock-up and the apocalypse and everything is not looking good
It's
for
just
them.
been sad. It's been terrible. Yeah.
I think probably near.
We've got Southampton,
13th
the handstanders.
I think 12th, 13th are probably going to be Man City, Man United.
Okay.
Though I'm not confident to say which is which. I would personally say City as a.
I think City's got it.
Yeah. I think you're going to be outvoted here for the pot.
I mean, you may as well
Doesn't
just
matter.
mush them together.
It doesn't matter. We
Manchester.
don't listen to him anyway. It's fine.
Yeah. I think just put Manchester quotation marks. I'm not confident which way round we get it. And
By
yeah,
the end of
put
the
money on
season,
the
they
line.
may well become one team again if they can reconcile their differences.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Chester.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. So what else do we have? We have Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, we said,
Right,
were
what-
looking really good. Genuinely might be up
Really good.
number one.
They-
To be
they
honest,
might
with the
be
teams
number
that are
one.
left.
Well, what's left? We've got the Ghosts. We've got the knifey stabby bastards.
We got the
Got Newcastle.
trebuchets who have their trebuchets with the ghosts, and
This just seems like the Ghosts have got it.
I think again we have another. I think with the Ham team, Southampton.
I don't think hands.
The
It's
Ham
too gimmicky.
is
Handstands is not
beyond Fulham or Fulham. If you don't go Fulham, you don't win.
winning. Full ham or no ham, chaps. You gotta choose.
Go Fulham or go full home.
It's full ham or no ham. That's a fantastic second. I feel like we should try and get a
Neverton-
T-shirt quote for every episode. Going
Neverton
forward.
say Everton again.
Neverton say Everton.
Again, it's
I think probably bang in the middle. I would say Arsenal, just because they're having to adapt to a brand new form of weaponry, but they are proficient in weapons anyway. So I think they
Proficient in
I
fencing
think
and wrestling.
I'm seeing that they're going to be low down to begin with, and they're going to get up.
Yeah.
And if they were performing
Yeah.
as they were at
They're
the
gonna
end
get
of the league, as
savage.
they were at the
Yeah, yeah.
beginning, they'd probably be in the top three. Not
It's
gonna
gonna
lie.
look like a
I
fucking.
think they might be at
It's
number
gonna look
one.
like a fucking The
Again,
Raid film with all the fucking knife action.
But you know,
It's gonna be monstrous. Okay, what else? So we got.
So
I feel like Newcastle ain't up there.
Newcastle.
Hey.
They've really limited themselves by putting the trebuchets in Brighton.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And-
and that's why I think
in a
Brighton
bungalow,
has the.
It's just the bungalow's not really ideal for
But
football.
why bungalow? I mean, were they even think? Did they even ask
What?
a defense expert?
Yeah, I would put Brighton just above
Do we think Brighton
just
have got
above
the lead?
Newcastle. I don't think they're up that high.
I think the
Do you not think?
No.
Ghosts are pretty good.
they're
Ghosts are pretty good, but it's the blue cards I'm worried about. I think they might lose a lot.
Yeah,
of their
true.
ghosts.
It does erase a team immediately on
I
on
think
play.
they might be
so.
just behind Leeds.
Ooh, god damn! You think they're worse than Leeds?
Well, I don't think they're worse than Leeds. I think they're worse than
Leeds are gonna get
Wolverhampton.
eaten.
I think they're worse than Wolverhampton, and Leeds is going to be
Yeah.
carried yet again by Wolverhampton. Till the
Yeah,
end
no,
of
that's
the-
you know.
Yeah, I mean, if
that's right.
Wolverhampton wasn't here, Leeds would be getting relegated.
That's it. That's it. Exactly. They're boosted. Hard boosted.
Hard boosted.
Okay, that's looking like a real actual prediction, right? So we got Aston Villa, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton, Leeds, Brighton, Burnley, Newcastle, Sheffield, Tottenham, Man,
Whoa!
Chester,
You
Southampton,
skipped over Arsenal.
Leicester, Chelsea. No, I said
You
Arsenal.
didn't say Arsenal.
You didn't
I
say
said Arsenal. Liverpool, Neverton, West Brom, West Ham.
Yeah, and Arsenal's
that
between
seems-
Sheffield and
No, it isn't.
Tottenham.
I didn't say that, so it's not.
Arsenal collapses at the end of the.
They're getting. They got. I think they're going to get blue carded. It's all the
blue
knifing.
carded.
It's unacceptable.
You think because they've got
They're
going to
get erased
you think
from
when they go up
existence.
against Brighton, because they're all close combat now, they're all going to bump in and all get concussion.
Yep.
So the
Which
whole
obviously
team's
everyone
going to
knows.
get blue card.
If the whole team gets concussed, that's an instant blue card, and they get erased from existence.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly what happened to Oldcastle.
of course, yeah. I'm surprised they even. I'm surprised they even had the balls to name it Castle again. That's.
It's just a
That was the last
You're
time.
going to anger the Queen with that. She's going to be angry.
That was the last time the blue card was used 10 years ago during the last Oldcastle game where they got
What happened? I don't think I watched it.
absolutely shit-faced. They ran
really?
on against which one was the one which was covered in fog?
Leeds.
Oh, that's Leeds. No,
It was Leeds.
Went up against
was it Leeds? Was it Leeds? Oh, it was Leeds.
Leeds. They went in. Leeds evidently not very good. It's all foggy, but because it's foggy all over the place, the fog basically got lifted by the giant extractor fans at the end of the match, and just a whole Oldcastle's worth of players all across the arena in the stands, out cold, just thought they were supposed to be watching the match, not in it. And as we all know, you couldn't let the old guards around in the stands because quite frail, got quite weak knees, because all they're built for is football. Just tripped up all over the place.
Tripped up, as everyone knows, if the same thing happens to every member of a team at any point, a surly man in a top hat stands up from the judging box and says, "Poor show!" and then they all get wiped out from existence as he plucks the blue card from his.
As he puts his thumb down and
Poor show, chaps! And they all just dissolve into thin air.
As was begun by the tradition in the Roman era when they played football there.
Shall it ever remain?
Shall ever
Hear,
remain. Hear, hear. Rest in peace, Asterix and Obelix.
And on that bombshell,
haven't locked the back door.
Okay. I'll sort it all out.
she's new.
I believe the cat's gone out.
Okay.
Someone's happening. Well, he's getting fed info.
Getting
What's going on?
fed.
I've just been told that all of this has already been proven to be true. We've missed the entire league in the time that
We've
we've
missed-
taken.
Someone beat us to it, and they also got it correct.
We got this correct, so well done
got
us
this-
for one. But
Wow.
Fuck.
someone has already put this up, so we can't do any of the.
Don't you fucking tell me it was James
No,
fucking
it's
Cameron.
fucking James Cameron again.
That cheeky
There's a
cunt.
good chance
Everyone
it was.
knows he's a visionary. Of course he can see the future. Stop showing off. Just stop it. James Cameron, if you're watching right now, stop it. Okay?
He
You know
is.
what you're doing. We all know what you're doing. Stop it. Fuck.
Well,
I could just fucking delete all this, don't I?
Yeah,
What's the point? You guys want to go watch some hockey?
sure. It's a much better
I'm gonna
sport
go
than
watch.
it
Yeah,
was.
right. Alright. Alright, we're all going to watch hockey. We all prefer hockey anyway. I don't know if did we mention that at the start? I think we did.
I think so.
Maybe.
Along with, it's the better out of the two mountain sports, between mountain football and hockey.
Yeah. Sticks. Just
It's good for climbing mountains.
better.
And good for
Yeah.
defending against
It's
Yakis.
got a hook on it. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anyway.
You want to plug anything?
I might as well get into the practice of it, plugging stuff.
Plug some
So-
things. Say some things. Do your things.
There's
Do
a
'em
schedule
Do it.
now.
Quick.
It was done.
Oh my god.
Good
He
tune.
Finally done
did
it.
it, guys. He finally managed it.
And he managed it. It's really good. Yeah. Twitch, where I be. By the
He'll be
time
there.
this episode is out, I'll be having a small break as I go to on a little trip around the globe.
He's
And that
off-
also
he's off to the
includes
jungles.
this very podcast. There might be a slight delay after this one
Nah,
comes
there
out
won't.
for a week.
I'm superb. There will not be. I am a logistical god.
Wow.
Okay. There will
Just
be no
wanted to put
delay.
that out there. Just in
Weekly.
case people
This
forget.
podcast will be weekly till the end of time, and that, my friends, is the third and final Jack promise.
The first two
this
have already
Ah.
fallen through.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've already succeeded on the first two. So eat my ass, fate.
And also,
I'm better than you. He's gonna snipe the podcast's pacing
And
again.
we've
Look, he's gonna
got-
do it. Look, he's
a
gonna do it.
fantastic sponsorship from
I'll see you in
Mum.
half an hour.
Happy birthday.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's not what I was expecting. What a fantastic idea.
Just to all the mums out there.
We'll be back to medicine next week, but this week we are, you know.
I'm just going to start editing it out.
If you have a mum
time.
who has a birthday and has a distinct hatred for moonpig.com, go to mumhappybirthday.com and get your mum a birthday card. My one has pop-up fun where it will pop out and will make a full plant pot with
That's
all
so
the flowers.
cool.
It's so cool, and it only
So
cost
cool.
me £3.50.
What an amazing deal, everyone.
Amazing.
Wow.
And you can buy them when it
Fantastic.
isn't even your mum's birthday. There is no
You can do
checking
that, there's nothing
on
stopping you.
whose birthday it is. You can buy it for your
I mean,
dad.
they're meant to,
and
but
have them
they
be
don't check 'em.
confused. You can buy it for your second mum if you have two. You can buy it for anyone. You can even buy it for your non-gender
Pets.
defying parent. If you have
You could
one.
buy it for
your
you
non-binary
could buy
parent.
it for
maybe.
you could buy it for your car or
The great thing is
the wizard
you can
who
just
lives down
paint
the
over.
lane.
You can just paint over one of these M's, and it becomes happy birthday, like a little joke.
That's a
Anyway,
much better. That's a much better car.
I'm gonna
Matt,
try and
you've got
speed.
things to plug.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do I? I mean,
Yes.
there's the LinkedIn still.
You don't sound very committed to this.
But the thing is, right, is just no one seems that interested in it.
You're not doing your job properly. You're meant to be posting content.
How do you post content on LinkedIn?
I don't know. You're the one with the LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
You sort it out.
Considering
No.
I'm
I
guessing.
don't know. Try and employ people or something. I don't know how LinkedIn works.
I mean, there are people watching. My email is filled with people currently sending me pictures
Yeah.
of knives being thrown at daffodils.
Is it the
Yeah.
Arsenal Football
Yeah.
Club throwing them?
Very,
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
the new poster art contest.
yeah.
Is take a picture of
For
a
some reason,
a
Arsenal
stabbed
tries to run it
daffodil.
through my email, despite I have no links in Arsenal. But I'll
I
tell
think
them
someone's
which one I like
griefing
the
you. I
most.
don't know.
And check out. You might also want to maybe.
I'm alive. I'm real. I exist. Here I am. Look, it's proof. It's me. And my stuff is around. I do things. I'd probably do a lot of Fall Guys imminently because that game's pretty fun, isn't it? And I know everyone else is doing it, but I want to do it. All right, go and watch me do it. I fall off things and it's funny. Okay, watch me. Fuck.
If you're
I
not
al-
watching
don't
someone
watch-
else.
I have also
That's
I
only
have
on
a
the
Twitter that
OnlyFans.
I don't use, so feel free to give it a follow. I do Dungeons and Dragons, except sometimes I don't, and it's all on the Twitch and on here on the YouTube. Oh, and me and my good friend Craig, who is famously known as the world's best card game player, just in general, have been doing some MTG Arena drafts, which has been a whole heck of a hoot of a laugh.
I've seen.
Fish is sometimes there. He has no idea what's going on, which is amusing.
Yeah.
And we sometimes win the games, so that is pretty sick. Nothing else really. That'll be on the that'll be on the YouTube channel actually. Yeah, I'm going to be doing YouTube channel things. I haven't got anything on that. It's been a little page with a little man just dusting the corners, saying nothing's here yet. But not for long. So do it all. There you go. There's your list. There's your
Content.
homework. You've got no excuse.
So
I better next time we do a podcast, you better come back to me with all those, and I'll know. Okay,
We'll all know.
I'll know. We'll all know.
fantastic. Well, thank you all
Fantastic.
for watching, and
You have been warned.
join me
Neverton
when I
see
say
you,
it.
Everton again.
Neverton say Everton. Everton
Neverton
Everton.
say Everton again. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey.